Now, here's the latest in agriculture news from the Rural Radio Network.
On this week's In the Field update, we are near Redington, Nebraska, out in the panhandle of Nebraska, not too far from Bridgeport, out here at Schuler Red Angus. David Schuler joining us. David, for folks obviously not familiar with you and your operation, tell me about the mix of cattle and crops.
Yeah, I guess you say we're diversified. Our bread and butter is flagship seed stock Red Angus cattle, and we supplement our feedstuffs through raising our own crops and selling some corn on the side, as well as raising dry feed edibles like alfalfa, millet, those sorts of things.
Yeah, well, of course, as our In the Field update, I joke with you, we had to come to western Nebraska to find where it's been raining. You guys were blessed in the month of May with lots of moisture, weren't you?
Yeah, tables have turned here in Nebraska a little bit. I feel sorry for the Easterners a little bit, but yeah, we're blessed with about 6 inches of rain there in May, and it's continued to be wet through thunderstorms, and we thankfully got everything planted. We dry out quickly so we can get that done, and now everything's growing and ripen, and it's probably going to dry out a little bit and just going to take off like a rocket ship, hopefully.
You guys are likely best known for your registered Red Angus herd, of course, but on the crop side, what crops are you growing, and is all of that, I guess, going to support the cattle side?
Yeah, so most of it will go into our cattle crop. The bottom half of our genetics, we'll let them go into our own feedlot. We're diversifying that nature and feed out about 500 head. And then we'll also have alfalfa on the side to put into our rations, as well as we supplement our cattle throughout the winter.
How is the crop looking this year? Of course, you got your corn in the ground, wrapping up planting and some other crops.
Yep, all corn is up and sprouting. Looking to put fertilizer on here as soon as we can. And then we're just about going to be finishing up on our millet for the summer range as well on the dry land. So we're looking okay. Everything's planted up and going and excellent quality.
What's your mixture of irrigated acres where you put in crops?
There's about 700 acres of corn, and then there'll be about 300 acres of feedstuffs like alfalfa underneath the pivot, and then about 200 acres of dry land millet.
Well, it's green behind us right now, but it was not that just a few months ago. Of course, the rain helping out with that, but you guys had a pretty big fire in the hills behind us. Talk about that and the recovery effort.
Yeah, in August of 2021, we had a pretty severe fire here, one of the bigger fires of Nebraska's history, and then started the trend of fires we had the last couple of years. But we had about 4,000 acres burn up, 10.6 miles of fence that we took out and replaced. And those hills behind us that are all green, thank goodness, thank the Lord itself, but it's all green now, and the grass is a resilient structure, and it'll take off you let if it gets that rain, and here we are 2 years later, it's finally looking like it used to.
Yeah, good to see, most definitely. All right, 2023 growing season, what are you most looking forward to? What are you hopeful for as we approach the growing season ahead of us?
Here in western Nebraska, where our car dealerships have roofs on top of them, we're just hoping that the hail stays away and we get to have this crop get into the ruminant animals as we speak that are behind us, and hope that they do us good and our families. So just looking forward to a safe and happy, healthy harvest like usual if it'll let us.
Here's to that. That is David Schuler out here at Schuler Red Angus, not far from Bridgeport, Nebraska, of course, out here in the Panhandle.